I don't know what to tell her, MAGA Joe Biden. I've tried everything, but nothing makes her want to come back. I think this one's gone. Gone for good. And it's all my fault. What? Yeah, that's great advice, but that's very illegal, MAGA Joe Biden. I don't think that I could get away with that. No, I know. I know you're saying to do it out of love, MAGA Joe Biden, but I just can't bring myself to do that. I guess my purpose in life is just to do card tricks. There's nothing that people love more than underage card tricks, which is why today I'm going to show you a baddie. I'm going to show you a hot one. One that if you see walking down the mall, you might look twice at. I know what you're thinking. Why am I giving away pictures of my feet for free on YouTube when I could be doing that on OnlyFans and be getting paid for it? Well, ask my friends. I'm doing it because my purpose is not to put pictures of feet up on the internet, but to do card tricks. So for this one, you're gonna have a deck of cards thoroughly mixed and shuffled like this, and you're also gonna need a participant. In this case, my participant, if you haven't guessed it, is MAGA Joseph Biden. MAGA Joe Biden is gonna be my participant for this particular card trick, and he's gonna help me out. Mr. Joseph, I'd like you to cut the deck in half. Cut the deck in half. Any time now. Any time now would be great. Okay, I'll do it for him. He cuts the deck in half, and I discard the cards that he cut from. So those cards are gone. And now I have this participant cut the cards in half again. So now we're left with two piles on the floor, two piles like this. And one spectator takes this one and another spectator takes that one. They are instructed to shuffle the cards as best they can and to remember the bottom card of the deck, in this case, the Queen of Spades. Another spectator is told to do the same and they remember the card, in this case, the Seven of Hearts. Now the spectators are instructed to think of somebody that means a lot to them. Think of their name, think of the spelling of their name. How is it that they spell their name? Because in a moment what they're gonna do is that they're gonna spell for each letter of their name one card on a table. So let's say they happen to be thinking of good old Joe Biden. That would be Joebiden, like that. And then they get the cards that are remaining in their hands and drop them on the table, just like that. So right now, let's say that the person I happen to be thinking of, his name is George. So that would be George. And I'm placing the cards on top. The spectator, of course, does this with their half. And let's say they're thinking of Wiener. So that'll be Wiener. And they drop their cards. Now here's the thing. They've done this for both halves, but they haven't done it to each other. So I switch packets and have the spectator on this side spell out their thought of name. Again, this time it would be George, George, and drop it again. And this person's instructed to do the same with this packet. So now each spectator has enveloped their own name into each other's packet. So you see that this has placed the card in a random location entirely determined by the name that the participants are thinking of. In this case, we're gonna go Wiener again, Wiener, and drop it. This time the spectators are instructed one more time to switch packets and one more time to infuse the packet with the name that they're thinking of. George, come on, Georgie W, George, and drop the packet. And one more time for the Wiener boys. One more time for the Wiener boys and that dreaded laptop. That's Wieiner. And drop the packet. Of course, there's no way we could have kept track of any one of these cards. There's absolutely no way. It would have been changed depending on the names. You thought of George, you thought of Wiener. You could have easily have thought of, I don't know, Joseph. You could have easily have thought of any other name. But of course, only the names that you thought of would have left us to the conditions that we are left in now. Sir, your card, the Queen of Spades. Sir, your card, the Seven of Hearts. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of dealing. That's a really dealing intensive trick. And to you, I might say, well, do it. Do it for a participant and you'll see that it gets good reactions. This is a fun one. Even though it does require the spectators to deal through, it's only a couple cards, and they're only doing it 3 times. I know, you're still going to be tempted to just look away and not do it. But you know what? Do it for spectators, and you're going to find that they're going to be as engaged as any other card trick. They're really tying it into something that matters to them. In this case, the name of the participant, and the fact that they're doing it, the impossibility of having both cards end up at the end. That's what you want, and that's what you're going to get. So, of course, I recommend for you to check out the PigCake Magic Academy, where $5 a month gets you 2 videos every single week going over card stuff, a lot of coin stuff there too. You get access to over 800 videos that I've already shot. Only $5 a month. What a bargain. What a bargain. You also automatically get 2 additional tutorials that I don't post anywhere else. Those tutorials are there exclusive to the piggybacker tier, or whatever it is that I chose to call it. So check it out. $5 a month. Support your knowledge of magic, and also support the channel. Support the channel because, well, Joe knows I need it desperately. Now, here is how the trick works. You're going to have the spectator shuffle the cards, and you're going to have them cut the cards in half. So you're going to have them cut the cards in half, and you're going to discard the first half. As a matter of fact, you're going to use that half to show them what they are to do. Now, you're going to have the spectator cut this half in half again. The reason for this is because we're going to make use of, I believe, a John Rocker Bomber trick. I first saw this done in Scam School. However, I don't like the version that they had there, and I feel like this would be a version that stands out a little bit better to the spectator. Rather than having them remember an arbitrary number, they're dealing down to an actual name of somebody that's relevant to them. So it's important here, a couple factors when you have them think of this particular name. Just for the sake of wanting the method to work, you're going to have them think of a name that's between, I want to say, 7 and 15 letters. The way you ensure this is by having them do first and last name. Now, in the performance, obviously, I was doing it to myself, so I know that it was going to work with those numbers. However, they're going to have to think of a name that's going to make them deal through the cards and go through the cards and cycle through them at least once. So you're going to have them think of somebody, a first name and last name of somebody that means a lot to them. So in this case, we're going to keep the cards face up so you see the actual cards in translation here. So the spectator is going to shuffle each packet, and they're going to memorize the bottom card. I'm going to leave it face down for the sake of explanation. And in this case, let's say the name they happen to be thinking of is PigCake Rod, abbreviation for Rodriguez. So that would be PigCakerod. So they deal those cards down, and then you instruct them to take the cards that are remaining in their hand and drop them on the table. So you notice right now, this places their card, I would say approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not approximately, but exactly 6 from the top of the deck. So the spectator over here, whatever name they're thinking of, it's definitely going to cause that card to go around in the cycle of the cards. It's going to make more sense here as we go through. So this spectator, same thing. Let's say that they are instructed to look at the bottom card, which happens to be the 10 of hearts, and they think of a name, PigCake Rod as well. So that's PigCakerod, and they drop their half on top. And now you instruct the spectators to switch packets. What this does is that this is going to ensure that those cards go continuously through that cycle of the entirety of the packet. So that means that when the spectator deals their name, you notice that right now that card is placed again in the bottom of the packet because of the nature of dealing through the cards. So in this case, that would be PigCakerod. Drop it on top. Same thing for this half, PigCakerod. Drop it on top. And now you're going to instruct them to switch packets one last time. So the logic here being that the first one, they used the name to put their card in a specific position. Then the second time you switch packets. So now those cards are in different positions depending on the names that each spectator thought of. So there's no way that you could have predicted this. No way he could have predicted this. And then one last time you switch the card so that now you're infusing that name one last time into the packet. So of course the impossibility of this, you could play it up as much as you want. But look what happens when I deal to the card here one last time. So that's PigCakerod. Their card is brought to the top of the packet automatically, just because of the nature of the dealing. And in this packet, you're going to see it's going to be the exact same thing, PigCakerod, and their card is on top of the packet. So because of the procedure, you now have both cards that are on top of the packet. Now, the only way that the trick could fail is if you don't cycle entirely through the cards, meaning that the spectator thought of a name that doesn't have a lot of letters. So you have to make sure that whatever name they think of, it's enough to make sure that they go through the entirety of the pile. Now, here's the thing. If they deal through the cards and they run out of cards, that's fine. Just have them stop dealing. So initially, if they come up with a name that has more cards than the initial pile, that's fine. Again, just have them deal the cards. And when they don't have any more other cards, just have them place the packet down and they're good to go. Switch packets like normal and the trick is gonna work. As long as you don't underdo it. If you overdo it, it's gonna be fine. If you underdo it, that's gonna be the problem. So in this case, it's a wonderful little bit of a self-working trick. And as long as you meet those conditions, you're gonna find that the spectator is gonna be astonished. I'm astonished as to the fact that this works each and every single time, as long as you actually just stick to that basic concept of making sure that they deal more cards than you would ordinarily. So that's the trick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys perform it. I hope you guys do it to the right gal at the bar and you have her think of a name and it happens to be the boyfriend that she's about to cheat on with you after you do the trick. I'm gonna go figure out different ways to, I don't know, eat a light bulb from an old ceiling fan. Maggot Joe, what are you gonna do? Just hang around? Okay. Whew. I made some really bad coffee this morning. I put some egg whites in the coffee and didn't come out good. Usually I'm a fan of adding egg whites to drinks, cocktails, for example. Flip is one of my favorite drinks. You drop a whole egg into a nice little bit of a couple ounces of Carvassier, and you shake it. Put some nutmeg on top. Once you pour it into a vessel, that's good. I enjoy that. But with coffee, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Maybe it might be the coffee. I need to get a Keurig. I think that's gonna make things easier. Not better. Not better tasting. Obviously, there's gonna be a substantial loss in tasting, but at least the convenience is going to be there.